Hola. I'm not gonna lie, the game is really silent right now, and it's kinda scary. Just hear this. The only things that make sound are my own footsteps. Imagine I just start hearing someone else's footsteps in my own PS. If I go, will it stop being so silent? Come on. Will the crowd just roar into cheers? Ah, there we go. Nice. Anyways, welcome to the Nagi video. Now, this isn't going to be like my usual videos because I'm going to have annotated gameplay and then I'm going to have separate commentary that goes over why I don't like Azure Latch, which is ultimately why I'm going to stop making videos on Azure Latch because I don't like it. And I've never really liked Azure Latch that much, but I will say they cooked with the Nagi update. I know the Yukimiya update is already out, but I like the Nagi update way more. The Nagi update is definitely my favorite update. And besides that update, it was the Don Lorenzo update, which was also my favorite. Fake volley, it's a counter. I feel like fake volley is better than most counters, even though it doesn't just launch you across the whole field. And that's because it has barely any end lag. Like, the end lag is really not noticeable unless you just spam dribble. Then you'll notice when the end lag is. Despite that, fake volley still has end lag because it's a counter. Also, if you land 3 fake volleys in front of the GK box or in the GK box, then you get 6-stage revolver volley or 5-stage revolver volley. I forgot what it's called, but it's a guaranteed goal. You can do it in base. So technically, this character has a guaranteed goal in base. That gives him a lot of value, but well, you have to pull it off first. Then you have control, which it really gotta glow up. I mean, look at this. Not only does it send you really far, it also picks up the ball. But a noticeable trait about control is, besides picking up the ball, it also deflects it, which is really good. A part of it deflects the ball. So if someone's dribbling in front of you, you can kind of just use control, and then you can just deflect the ball away from them, and then get into a more favorable position. Of course, the aerial variant of control, it's just a trap, and it's really bad. The shot is really bad, at least. But the trap itself is really good. It has a lot of range. It has a big hitbox. And then you have his shooting skill, which is heavy. Heavy, despite being called heavy, is so fast to the point where if you jump, you can literally do the Kaiser tech with it. There's a noticeable difference with the ball when you jump and when you don't jump. For comparison, this is going to be me using heavy while I jump. And this is going to be me using heavy while I don't jump. You can see it goes up when you jump. And now you have 0 reset turn, which goes backwards basically. And of course you can control it with how you aim your camera. Oh yeah, that's a bug that you can do or abuse. I mean, if you want to abuse it, that's up to you, but I guess you can just fly with control. What else I wanted to show is that heavy has a lot of range. You can just go from over here. That's crazy to me, because not even Asagi can do that. Kaiser, maybe, but I don't think any straight shot besides like Boros or Chigris can do that, and that's if you aim up. And before we awaken, I have some more text for you that you can do with Nagi. Now, this one I call Curiosity at Home. What you do is you just toss the ball here, super run, and then use the aerial shot for control. How the fuck did that not land? Ah, there we go, and it hit the corner. You can do that on unsuspecting GKs, and if you angle it really well, then someone might actually not be able to catch it unless they have got the moral. Now, the other tech you can do is just a 0 reset turn straight into heavy. You can even try bait out the GK by just going into here and then getting out of the box and then using your heavy. Or well, it's not really gonna bait them, but it is gonna confuse them for sure. What I did was that I used 0 reset turn to get in here, and then I backtracked a little bit, just like that, with my 0 reset turn. And then I ended up right here, and my heavy went right in the net, just like that. Once you're able to utilize control to its fullest potential, and are really good with 0 reset turn, well, this character should probably be the best character in the game for you, unless they decide to nerf heavy, which I can honestly see them doing, because I'm not sure why that's faster than the fucking Kaiser impact. Now that I went over everything, it's time for the awakening. You can just launch the ball up like this, and then you can land the auto goal instantly. It's a way better way to utilize Curiosity, because if you just run into the GK box and then try to rainbow flick with Curiosity, well, no sensible GK is gonna let you do that. You're gonna get tackled instantly. So that technique that I showed is way better to utilize Curiosity, because yes, the GK can die, but the ball's in the air, and your control hitbox is gonna hit it first before the GK's dive hitbox could ever hit it. And then you have Heavy, which honestly has really weak shot power. The only thing this is good for is this. Now, of course, the GK is going to catch it because I aimed it right at him, but you can get the idea. It's only good for straight up blocking super throws or making them go in another direction, or for really nice chemical reactions, because it does have a very big hitbox, and if your teammates pass it to you while you're near here, or if the GK doesn't see you, then you can use it. The main thing that you will be scoring with in his awakening is probably going to be his 5th move. One, because it has way better shot power than heavy, and also it's faster. And if you jump, then it has even more airtime than heavy. Of course, aim away from the GK, because if I aimed the GK, he would have caught it. You can't just autopilot awakening skills anymore like how you used to, because the GK changes. I want to see, can my heavy... Yup, it can. That's kind of crazy. It's Kaiser's Magnus all over again, because when you jump with Magnus, it would just go over the GK's head. However, Magnus got nerfed, but now I guess in its place we have heavy. Anyways, my bad for the excessively long summarization of his moves. Now we move on to the matches. Or I guess a better way to word it is to the criticism. Let's see. My first video was 5 months ago, so this game probably came out 5 months ago or close to 6 months ago. Yet during those 5 or 6 months, they have not addressed the core design flaws of this game. But what makes me dislike this game and say that? Is it the fact that the game is client-sided? Is it the fact that the game has really bad accessibility? Actually, it doesn't have accessibility. Is it because the game has the bare minimum of quality of life? Is it because of inconsistent balancing? Is it because of the gameplay? Well, it's all of those factors, bro. Now, when it comes to any game in general, especially Azure Latch, as it's a team-based game, it should at least have some decent accessibility that would at least help a player fit in with their team. Like, it should help the player actually learn how to play with other players instead of just making them do everything on their own. It should teach the players basic mechanics of the game, but Azure Latch doesn't do that. It has the worst accessibility I've ever seen in any game at all, even outside of Roblox. Well, to be honest, every game outside of Roblox is generally more accessible than the games that are in Roblox. Case in point, Azure Latch's accessibility is absolutely horrendous. Actually, what accessibility? Because there isn't any accessibility in Azure Latch. A tutorial is needed. Let's just face it, man. It is a team-based game. A tutorial is most definitely needed. You are sick of seeing these same dumbasses on my videos just throwing the game every single time. You are sick of getting those dumbasses in your games when you play Azure Latch, and you are also sick of them being on the other team, because then it's just gonna make the game so fucking boring. I'm literally playing against some walking trash cans, but I can't blame them for playing the game poorly, because Azure Latch doesn't do anything to help you play the game better. It doesn't have a tutorial. It doesn't help new players get their bearings. You're just thrown in this mess of a lobby and then you play the game. They had the time to add a 44-second long anime ass cutscene of Azure Latch over adding a tutorial, bro. If you want to say a tutorial isn't necessary, then is this fucking cutscene necessary? It doesn't even translate well into the game. It's 144p, bro. For the love of God and all things holy, please add a tutorial. It's the least you could do. I get that everyone is trying to have fun in Azure Latch, but the game would be a bit funner if new players had an idea on how to play the game. Even BLR has had a tutorial, bro. Blue Lock Rivals. A decent tutorial would actually make your game stand out more, because for some reason a basic tutorial in any Roblox game is just a novelty now, and it would help retain more new players into the game instead of them just leaving because they think the game is a little bit too hard for them to learn. Now, one thing I want to talk about is this game quality of life. Over the past few updates, they have genuinely been working on the quality of life. I was planning to drop this after like my save video before I did any of the bug shit, and I was gonna make fun of the game for just having zero quality of life, but they're actually working on that, which I'm proud of. They added a weather toggle, which I have wanted for the longest time in the game. They've decreased the blur factor on the rain and snow even more. They've added an option to disable the crowd cheers, and they've added numerous other quality of life options, though half of them are pretty small and redundant, so they don't really matter that much in the grand scale of things. I want to suggest 3 more quality of life features that they can implement, which will make the game more accessible. Keep in mind, I'm not like you guys. I'm not like 15 years old or 14. I'm 18. 18. I'm an 18-year-old man. I'm an old man. I'm unk. And I don't play this game often. So when I come back after like 3 days of not playing the game and I score a goal, or I just see a goal being scored in general, I get my ears literally assaulted by this loud whistle and I get flashbanged by the sun itself. It would be nice if they add a feature that would prevent your retinas from seeing something that's brighter than a literal supernova every time the ball goes in the net, and an option that also disables the whistle so your ears don't get blown out. I think they can do it. They gave you an option to be able to disable the crowd cheers. They should give you an option to be able to disable the whistle as well, and also the option to disable the white flash every single time a goal happens. The third quality of life feature I want them to add is keybinds. I've asked for this for so long. It's been half a year and they still don't have keybinds. I think ever since my first video, I've begged for keybinds. I've raged over the fact that there aren't keybinds. I want to bind my super run to R or some shit, because who the fuck uses the goal whistle unironically? And I want to put my dribble to F because I don't use E to parry things, bro. I'm a type soul player. I don't play these battleground games. I bind my F to my block, which is usually a parry. Yet they still haven't really given us the option to bind our own keybinds, which just stops newer players from coming into the game. At least they added controller remapping though. God damn, where's the keybind remapping, bro? Love for some PC players, please, bro. Now, I also don't like the game being client-sided, and I don't know if they can do anything about that. This is just me giving my opinion. But what is client-sided? What is server-sided? What are either of these things, and what's the difference between them? Well, ask ChatGPT. I'm not gonna go over all of that. Now I want to address their lack of general quality of life. The quality of life that everyone playing the game deserves. And therefore, I want to go into their lack of it. Now, you think that because invincibility frames are so prevalent in Azure Latch, that there would be some kind of indicator for when someone has invincibility frames. No, there isn't. How am I supposed to truly know when someone's iframes have ended in this game? The only reason I'm able to tell is because I've actually played the game since it came out. What about new players? How are they supposed to know? Is it just a case of fuck around and find out? Do they have to fail to learn? Or could something be done about that situation which would make the game less frustrating? I'm going to use Typeso as an example, but Typeso has done this and added a yellow outline whenever someone is in hyper armor, which means when their move cannot be interrupted. What also doesn't help this lack of indicators on Azure Latch moves is the fact that the moves that do have iframes, that do have end lag, have less than a second of end lag. I'm pretty sure Fake Volley has 0.3 seconds of end lag, and Fake Shot has like half a second of end lag. You have to experiment in a PS in order to figure out what iframe moves have end lag, when their iframes end, and when to tackle. And you probably will need a friend too, which will bring us to our second issue. Private servers. They suck. You would think a battleground style game would at least give you private server owners some reign over their private servers like how JJS does, and give you a panel to manage private server commands, but they lock PS commands behind a paywall, on top of it just having generally shitty features. My issue isn't the fact that it's unfinished, but the fact that the liberty that should be given to every player is locked behind a stupid ass paywall. I swear, bro, they treat their player base so fucking badly. I hope these basic PS commands can become free sometime in the future, as they would help players a lot with learning the game, and the fact that they're paid restricts players that don't play Azure Latch with their friends to learn the game in one certain way, which is playing in public, which can be really frustrating when you notice all the issues I talked about, and I'm gonna talk about even more. You can test what your character is doing a PS, but that's literally it, and characters like Eukemia can't even pop float in your own private server. I wish private servers were like a sandbox where you can like test your characters. Sometimes the RNG in this game gets really shit, and if you're a new player, then I doubt you're getting every character in like 50k cash. Also, cash flow in this game is just shit. I don't know, for scoring 25 goals, I think I only got like, what, 3k? I was on a new account and I scored 25 goals and I won 5 games, and I think for that I only got 2k or 3k cash, which is really bad. I think I should have got 5k or like 6k. Cash flow in this game is shit. It needs a buff. It wouldn't hurt anyone if you could get cash easier, man. And no one is gonna buy the cash products that are already in the game. People will only spend their money on either premium emotes or premium MVP animations like Demon King or like Kaiser's premium MVP. And now I want to talk about the gameplay, as it seems like everything besides the animations is a fucking afterthought, bro. Have you seen how far Borrow can go if you camera tilt King's Path. He's nerfed now, but good grief, he had iframes the whole way through and he was able to go even further. And have you seen Chigri? His 5th move, his move and flow, even his base is kinda annoying to deal with. But noticeably, his 5th move and flow, which can just go from across the field, and you can just get rid of the N-log on it. I mean, IQ exists, but in a game like Azure Latch, it's just bad game design to make it where you can only counter a character with another character. And I feel like we all know Azure Latch could be a better game, but we will still play it because Roblox is really fucking dry. The only competition Azure Latch has right now is Goalbound. People don't really like Goalbound. I love Goalbound personally. I think it's a great change of scene from fucking Azure Latch. But inconsistent character bouncing aside, the gameplay in general is just completely rigged. You're stronger with the ball, you're faster with the ball. It's easier to play the game when you have the ball, which is bad. It should be stressful when you have the ball and stress-free when you don't have the ball, but it's the opposite for some reason, unlike real-life football. You're even faster with the ball, unlike football in real life. Now, this game is pretty realistic. Of course, you can't do all these fucking anime abilities, but you can run across the field. You can have snappy movements in real life. Your shots can have a lot of power in real life also. But one thing you can't do is be faster with the fucking ball when everyone else, your level, your age, is slower without the ball. That's the one thing you cannot have. It's not even me being faster with the ball. It's also me having more options with the ball. Say there's a defender at the back. I have to get through him. I could either abuse my movement tech, dribble, use a header, use an iframe move, rainbow flick, or use my mobility move that's also an iframe move. There's so much shit I can do to get through a defender. What can a defender do to get through me? What, like cut off my trajectory? I can just change directions? With their IQ, they have reflex cycle. I'll just bait it out. It has no fucking range. Venom trap? I'll literally just disable header mode and then I'll just tackle back into the ball. And then they're just gonna be so far away from me anyways, so I'll just win. What can they do? Bad player against bad player. The player with the ball will always win. Good player against good player. The player with the ball will always win. It's like a gamble, but it's completely rigged and it's always gonna be in favor of the person who has the ball. If we put 2 people with the same skill level against each other, the one with the ball is always gonna win because for some reason, the person with the ball just has way more options to get through the person that doesn't have the ball. And I've already said this before, you're faster with the ball, but on top of that, no one else has the ability to even catch up to you when you have the ball. At least in Goalbound, when someone is using their headers, you can just intercept it. And also, there isn't like a mode. You can't just go back to normal after you use the header. You can't just tackle into it and then possess the ball again after you use the header. Also, the game's ball gravity generally helps it too. But Goalbound's gameplay has more depth. Even if someone has the ball, they're really fast with the ball, but you can catch up to them with this blue run, with this super run, or whatever it's called. And if someone's in front of you doing their headers, you can intercept it off of them. You can intercept it and the ball just goes in the direction you want it to go. You can intercept it by pressing jump and then tackling. What would be the reaction time for that in Azure Latch? What would be the ping you would need for that in Azure Latch? If someone's on 40 ping and I'm on 70 ping, do you think I would have any hope of intercepting a header? Of intercepting one header? I'll be able to intercept 3 headers or 2 headers, but I'm talking about one header and then they go back into normal mode to tackle into it. What would be the chances of me actually being able to intercept that header? There's no chance. There's nothing you can do. As you can see, a lot of factors play into it, and because of that, I don't like Azure Latch at all, because it has a lot of things for me to just not like. In fact, it has more things for me to dislike than more things for me to like. I will say, the characters are really cool. They're probably some of the most unique characters I've seen in any Blue Lock game in general. The VFX is really good. Out of any game I've played, this game has the best visuals. Not even on Roblox, it just has the best visuals straight up. And the animation quality is not going to waste. They have amazing animations. But it seems like everything that isn't just visuals or animations is just an afterthought. The gameplay is a quick dopamine hit, but then you play the game for 30 to 20 minutes, or at least I do, and then I just realize this shit is so fucking boring. It has no depth. All I need to do is just M1 in the same direction and then keep tackling and then keep using my super run and then keep using my side dashes. And if someone's in front of me, then I can just go right past them like Loki, dribble, and they'll just tackle into me. Even use my counter if I just feel like trolling. Use a header, rainbow flick, dribble to bait them and then do a rainbow flick, or just use my mobility moves or use my iframe move. You get where I'm going with this. Either way, I want to play type so I'm just gonna stop talking now. See y'all.